We have to talk about what is happening with Tesla following that Twitter poll earlier in the week. Elon Musk indeed did sell some shares, not a 10% stake as was laid out in that poll.
Hey, I'm Stephen and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So there's barely a dull moment when it comes to Tesla stock. We have confirmation overnight that Elon Musk has sold around $5 billion of his stake in Tesla. This implies there's still around $15 billion of sales to go. The question I'm going to attempt to answer in today's video is, will Tesla stock crash again? If you happen to have a short memory, earlier this week Tesla stock got absolutely destroyed, falling about 12% to suffer its biggest ever loss in terms of dollar amount in a single day. Many people, including myself, assumed that Elon Musk had dumped practically all, if not all, of his stock onto the market in that single day. Turns out this wasn't the case, so we'll discuss the implications and I'll also be reacting to some of the media comments around the sale of Tesla stock. So with that said, let's get into the video. If you love crypto, stocks, and free stuff, or just want to help out the channel, check out these great offers. BlockFi are launching the world's first Bitcoin rewards credit card. People in the US can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase with no annual fee using the BlockFi Bitcoin rewards credit card. Check out the link in the description. And for a limited time, you can get up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $300 just for opening an account. And if you make an initial deposit of $5 or more, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $2,000. Seriously. Free stocks? Yes, please. And finally, if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also linked in the description. Thanks so much for your support, guys. Let's get back to it. So, in the interest of full transparency, as always, just letting you guys know that I did buy more Tesla stock overnight. So far this week, after shuffling some funds around and deciding, you know what, my tax bill, I'll start saving for that after I'm done buying. I've purchased a total of 91 shares this week at about $1,112 per share on average. For the 400,000th time, I just want to point out that I personally believe that the prices that I'm paying for Tesla stock today, in a decade or more, are going to look dirt cheap. I don't really care if I'm buying the absolute bottom of the dip. At this point in time, I'm thinking, you know what, this is another opportunity to buy Tesla below its long-term value. I'm going to take full advantage. I personally believe that sometime in the next 12 to 24 months, the majority of the analysts on Wall Street and most retail investors out there will finally start to realize not only is Tesla A, not going bankrupt, they figured that out around 2020, B, highly profitable, printing money, accelerating their lead, blah, 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 which they figured out in 2021, around this point in time. And over the next year or so, they're going to realize not only is Tesla not going bankrupt and a money printing machine, but they are going to have an extremely dominant, unassailable lead in terms of EV market share in the coming years. I'm trying to get as much buying done as I can before this widespread realization. At this point in time, I'm not really hearing too many people on Wall Street, too many retail investors outside the small number of people who watch channels like Solving the Money Problem, Tesla Daily, Dave Lee on Investing, blah, 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 what a truly dominant position Tesla are in, and just how significant of a share of the EV market they will take in the future, never mind autonomy, blah, 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 blah. At some point, Wall Street consensus will finally figure this out, but until then, still buying with every spare cent. If you bought any Tesla stock this week, let me know in the comments below how much you paid, how many shares you bought. And by the way, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel, picking up merch. I've just discovered this morning that there's been over 1,000 orders for the Don't Bet Against Elon merch. If you don't have yours, check out the link in the description. There's shirts, there's hoodies, mugs, phone cases, long sleeves, and plenty more. And now let's check out some of the media reactions to the announcement that Elon Musk has sold around $5 billion of his Tesla stock. And then I'll discuss whether or not I think another Tesla stock crash is possible, given the fact that Elon still has about 3/4 of his stock to sell.
We have to talk about what is happening with Tesla following that Twitter poll earlier in the week. Elon Musk indeed did sell some shares, not a 10% stake as was laid out in that poll, but about half of that at this point. $5 billion worth of stock, a little less than half that, I should say. $5 billion worth of stock, 4.5 million shares this week is what that represented. It had to do with the options that the Tesla founder, had to exercise and taxes related to that. We don't know whether he's going to sell that full 10% at any point, but it is interesting here that this is all going on, Emily.
It is interesting here that it's all going on, and also interesting to see Tesla stock now actually moving higher here. This could be a little bit of sell the rumor, buy the news type trading action happening among investors here, because of course we had seen Tesla stock plunge over the beginning of this week after that Twitter poll had decisively shown a majority of people who had casted their votes wanted to see Elon Musk actually sell that stake, of course, in Tesla. But I think what a lot of investors have forgotten here, or at least had forgotten when this Twitter poll had first come out over the weekend, was, as you were mentioning, Julie, the fact that Elon Musk does have these options that are expiring in August of next year. And because of that, it had already been widely expected that he was going to sell somewhere around 5 to 6% of his stake, because we have to remember that he doesn't actually receive a salary from Tesla. So if he were to exercise these options and receive, of course, profits as a result of that, he would have to sell additional shares in order to make up for that tax bill here. So
now I've got to admit, the mainstream finance media here getting their facts straight, knowing that Elon Musk did in fact have these options expiring next year, so he would have needed to sell some Tesla stock anyway to pay the taxes upon exercising those options. My assumption from the moment this Twitter poll appeared, as discussed in my video on that particular topic, was that Elon Musk was using this as an opportunity to potentially appease some of the crazy people currently spitting venom in his direction, a lot of people on the far left who believe that taxing billionaires will solve all the world's problems, including their own self-hatred. It won't. I personally suspect, and this is pure conjecture, that Elon thought, got to sell some stock anyway to exercise these options and pay my taxes. I got a great idea. Might be able to throw a few crumbs to these morons on the far left, get some of these morons off my back about not paying any taxes while being the world's richest person by having a poll, the result of which I can already predict, asking, should I sell 10% of my stake in Tesla? I personally believe that Elon Musk had two options, no pun intended, here. One, sell some stock to pay the taxes on exercising the options, or borrow money to pay the taxes. In either case, the taxes get paid, but I'm pretty confident the morons who hate Elon Musk wouldn't have liked him borrowing money to pay taxes, even though the same amount of tax was ultimately paid. It's almost like Elon Musk thought to himself, you know what, maybe I just need to give a little bit of a sacrifice to these insane morons. I'll just sell a tiny part of my Tesla stake, no big deal, hopefully they'll f*** off for a while and leave me alone. Of course, I could totally be wrong here, just thinking out loud. Either way, however, Elon Musk still has a shit ton of Tesla stock to sell, and later in this video, as promised, I'll be discussing whether or not I think this might cause another crash in the price of Tesla stock.
That had been something expected by the street. 10% would be a little bit higher of a stake sale than they had been expecting heading into this. And then one other thing that I want to highlight, coming from Dan Ives of Wedbush here in terms of some Wall Street commentary, he actually mentioned that this is potentially a good thing for the stock to see these sales taking place now. It's in a sense allowing Musk to rip the Band-Aid off here and sell this portion of the stock quickly, rather than having it linger as as an overhang for the stock heading into next year. So potentially a little bit of upside here in this news as well, even though we did see the stock sell off earlier this week as a result of that.
I think this whole ordeal, guys, was a wake-up call to a lot of the Tesla bulls out there that, the next couple of years might be a little different for Tesla. I know the fundamental story is improving here, but you are likely to see Musk continue to diversify his own portfolio. It's not to say that he's going to come out again 2 weeks from now and sell more stock, but it's something you have to be mindful on moving forward here. So a good reminder here. And then secondarily, next thing, Julie, I think investors need to start thinking about is life after Musk. I mean, he has suggested, I would say over the past year, there will be coming a time, let's say over the next 5 years, that maybe he is not the CEO of Tesla. So I think this is, you have to start thinking about these things today.
This is actually a fair point here from Brian. I personally think that somewhere around mid-decade, Elon Musk is likely to step down as CEO of Tesla, still have a very hands-on role, maybe chief technology officer, and still remain as chairman of the board. But this is something that Elon Musk has been telegraphing for years. We all know Elon Musk's long-term vision is to make life multiplanetary via SpaceX. For what it's worth, my Tesla valuation model, which is available exclusively to Patreon supporters at the investor tier or above, check out the card in the corner or the link in the description, actually features a Musk multiple. And yes, I'm serious. The idea here is that Elon Musk really does add a premium not only to Tesla's stock price, but but he has a premium to what Tesla can actually accomplish as a company. Now sure, if Elon Musk disappeared tomorrow, I'm sure Tesla would do just fine. But there's no question, while Elon Musk is at the helm, Tesla is going to move even faster and do even more, be even more resourceful and accomplish more in less time. The reason that my Tesla valuation model includes this Musk multiple is because I know at some point in the future he will step down, and I do think that this will have an adverse effect on Tesla's stock price. Not catastrophic, but I personally believe at this point in time, while Elon Musk is CEO, Tesla is being priced at a slight premium because of that. I mean, after all, there is no better CEO on the planet or in the solar system.
I want to turn our attention, though, to a different story playing out here in the EV space. Of course, we've seen Tesla shares under pressure ever since CEO Elon Musk weighed in on Twitter about selling shares, leaving that question up to his Twitter followers in a Twitter poll, shedding about $5 billion now as you look at how much he's sold the stock. The stock's come back, though, since that's happened. That's all been playing out. Plus, we got Rivian to check in on after the biggest IPO that we've seen since 2014, as that electric truck maker made its debut yesterday, closing north of $100 a share. For more on all the auto action, I want to bring on Yahoo Finance's auto expert, Praz Subramanian, joins us here. And Praz, I guess we can start with Elon Musk and Tesla, just because that's the big one a lot of our viewers watch. And the stock bouncing back, shrugging off, I guess, a well-choreographed, dare I say, move from Elon Musk.
Yeah, Zach, shrugging off that move, popping a little bit today after, yes, a choreographed move. Musk revealed that he sold around $5 billion worth of shares in a filing last night. Likely going to complete this 10% stock sale over the next few days. We'll see. He might have something like a $10 billion tax bill for these obligations that, tax obligations for exercising some options that he got. Interesting that the sale was, quote, automatically affected back in mid-September. So a month or two before his well-publicized poll as to whether he should sell stock based on citing unrealized tax gains and tax avoidance, things like that. But don't cry too hard for Musk, right? So he might have lost some money this way because of his personal fortune, kind of losing maybe $50 billion. But for the year, Tesla shares his fortune's up 70% for this year alone, based on the Tesla stock performance this year plus his stake in SpaceX.
Well, once again, got to say, I'm surprised and impressed the mainstream finance media seem to be covering Elon Musk's sale of Tesla stock reasonably, rationally, and fairly accurately. This is quite a change. And now, to answer the question, do I believe that Tesla stock will crash again? Over here on Twitter, great tweet here from Dave Lee yesterday. Here's an update of how many Tesla shares Elon Musk sold over the past 3 days. On November 8th, a little under 1 million shares sold. November 9th, over 3 million shares sold. And November 10th, 500,000 shares sold, for a total of 4,522,138 Tesla shares sold. Now, for those of you playing along at home, it was November 9th when Tesla stock crashed about 12%. Biggest ever dollar loss in a single day, got absolutely destroyed. And yet that was a fraction of the shares that Elon Musk sold and intends to sell. As Dave points out in this tweet here, around 10% of Elon Musk Tesla holdings is 17 million shares. So he's only sold about a quarter so far. So you know what that means? There certainly could be more pain to come. Dave commenting below here, hey Elon, do you really need to sell 12.5 million more shares? That Twitter poll was probably hacked anyway. If you do, then can you at least do a private block trade for the rest of the shares you need to sell? Gary Black can give you a referral. For those of you that don't understand what's going on here, it seems like all these shares have just been dumped on the public market, hence Tesla's price absolutely crashing. A private block trade can be arranged behind the scenes with some of the big investment banks for a client who wants to purchase a huge number of shares at a fixed price, maybe a tiny bit below the market price. This will ensure that Tesla stock doesn't get absolutely reamed once again. Now, call me selfish, but I would prefer this didn't happen. I would much rather see Tesla stock crash again, get absolutely destroyed, so I can buy it on further discount. If you agree, let me know in the comments below. So, do I think Tesla stock will crash again? Well, honestly, I think it's a bit of a coin toss, about a 50-50 chance. This depends on whether or not Elon Musk is willing to allow a huge number of shares to get dumped onto the market in a single day, within a few hours, etc., or if they're drip fed over a very extended period of time. I'm not inside Elon's head, so I don't actually know how this would play out, but I am personally praying to the flying spaghetti monster that Elon does in fact say, you know what, just sell the shares, I don't give a shit, crash the stock price, I don't give a f***, let's go. Of course, if that happens, I'll be there with a mop and a bucket to absolutely clean up. But in the context of where I believe Tesla stock is going over the next decade, I don't really care if I'm paying $950, $1,050, $1,200, $1,800, $2,000, $3,000 per share. I know to some of you that might sound a little bit insane, but I think to everybody who's seen my Tesla stock price targets for the next 10 years, the bear case, base case, and bull case, you'll know exactly where I'm coming from. Again, if you'd like access to those exclusively, sign up to Patreon. There's a card in the corner and the link in the description. All Patreon supporters at all levels get access to my Tesla stock price targets, and they're always up to date. And if you'd like to go that extra step further, you can also access my Tesla valuation model at the investor tier and above. Again, just sign up to Patreon with the link in the description. Let me know in the comments below if any of you are planning to buy more Tesla stock around these levels, whether or not it's dipping or continues to climb up. And just finally, if you happen to be getting sick of the shameless plugging and self-promotion, I highly recommend you unsubscribe from the channel and don't let the door hit you on the way out. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan, this is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card, where you can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase. There's a link in the description. You can also earn up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, also linked below. And finally, don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake, also linked in the description. These great offers also help out the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.